The names of 122 women murdered by men over the past year in France were plastered onto a Paris wall on Sunday night as part of a memorial to mark the first year of a poster campaign that has put the country's femicide crisis in the spotlight.
Here's a summary of the article.
The names of 122 women murdered by men over the past year in France were plastered onto a Paris wall on Sunday night as part of a memorial to mark the first year of a poster campaign that has put the country's femicide crisis in the spotlight. On Sunday, the activists returned to the site of one of their first posters to erect the memorial to the 122 women killed since the movement began. We decided to return to this spot where we already put up a first poster in honor of Salome, who was the 100th woman killed in 2019, activist Camille Lextray told AFP. Her name was torn down, so we decided to come back here specifically to show that we cannot tear down the names of these women. It is a place that is symbolic for us, it is a place of memorial. We decided to create our own memorial because France does not. France does not recognize these victims. France does not honor these victims, and so we are doing it tonight. France has one of the highest femicide rates in Western Europe, with 146 women killed by their partner or ex-partner in 2019, according to government figures, an increase of 25 on the previous year. The French government unveiled measures last year to tackle the issue, but campaigners say more needs to be done. The charity organizations have still not been listened to. They have still not been heard. The funding is still not there, said Lextray.
This post received a score of 40,000, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
This is supposed to say, 122 women murdered by their male partners, right? Not just, plain, murder.
I feel like that would have been more helpful in understanding why they're calling this a femicide. Poor title by OP and the article IMO.
TBF. The OP isn't supposed to change the title, so I would just blame the article unless OP wrote the article.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that third paragraph helped a lot. So I just realized France had only 682 murders last year for the entire country. Chicago alone had 510 last year.
Even relative to population, US has more than 15x the murder rate. For those curious, France population 67 million, US population 328 million. That means ideally, for every one murder in France there's roughly 5 murders in the US. So if France has 682 murders, US ideally should have 3,384 murders, however in 2018 we had 15,498. We had 22x the number of murders than France. USA is obsessed with being number one.
Ever heard of Brazil?
I don't think the spotlight here is on the homicide itself, but more drawing a picture of domestic violence. Not downplaying the deaths, but some seem to be missing the point, I think.
Greater than, but some seem to be missing the point, I think. People in this thread are trying to, all murders matter, this for some reason, they're furious that women are trying to raise awareness for an issue that only affects their gender.
It's especially odd they are trying to, all murders matter, this issue considering that COVID-19 and the lockdowns that have come with it have led to a giant increase in domestic abuse instances, which disproportionately impacts women. I volunteer for a women's shelter in Canada and I was shocked when our vacancy went down as COVID started, but then the much sadder reality started to set in. I believe we should be talking about male domestic abuse victims, but I don't think we should be shouting over French femicide victims in this post to do that. Male victims deserve their own posts, not to be rebuttals in all posts about women.
I think the issue most people are having is the title is shit and doesn't explain at all what's actually happening. But no one ever reads more than the headline. So here we are.
Greater than. I think the issue most people are having is the title is shit and doesn't explain at all what's actually happening. Nah, people are still being jerks even after the title is clarified.
FYI, the number of men killed by their significant others in the same time frame is 21.
I kinda want to see a breakdown here by sex for both parties. Do gay men kill their gay male spouses at the same rate straight men kill their straight female spouses?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.